My name is Prince Rotimi Agunsoye, representing Koshofe Federal Constituency of Lagos. My motion is on continued smuggling and unlawful access of smugglers and immigrants through the Nigerian land and sea borders, and urgent need to stem the menace. The House notes.
Honorable colleagues, order. Listen to your colleague in silence.
The House knows that it has become worrisome that borders throughout the perimeter of the Nigerian state, both land and sea,
Honorable Lawal,
have become
you
very
gentlemen,
porous,
calm down,
largely allowing unlawful access of both goods and immigrants. The House is worried that this unabated trend of smuggling and unlawful immigrant activities in the country is becoming a national embarrassment and posing a threat to our national socio-economic existence. Aware that the markets and our society at large have been flooded with goods, cars, clothing, food, and other materials which have been smuggled into the country, with all our anti-smuggling units and other formations of the Nigeria Customs Service supposedly on standby. The House is concerned that the Nigeria Customs haven't largely allowed the smugglers to beat them to their game, as recently resorted to accosting and harassing innocent citizens who have purchased cars and other goods off the shelf owing to their apparent negligence. The House is also concerned that many of these foreign goods smuggled into the country are substandard and harmful for consumption. We've heard about the recent influx of plastic rice, uncertified GMO food items, genetically modified organisms, expired drugs, high radiation mobile phones, and so on. The House is also aware that foreigners from other countries of the world who have gained entry into Nigeria without proper immigration papers or have overstayed their visas are all around the place, competing with citizens and enjoying taxpayers' money. Countries like South Africa, Liberia, Ghana, Chad, Cameroon, India, China, where we have their people here, and other countries, they freely move through our borders and or continue to stay after their visas have expired. Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, the House is disturbed that finished goods which have been smuggled into the country pose serious economic threats and unhealthy competition against made-in-Nigeria goods, which have been painstakingly produced by Nigeria companies. Cognizant that Nigeria is presently grappling with lack of adequate data of citizens, residents, and foreigners, and further compounded by an
Chairman, Rules and Business.
Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, the House acknowledges the notorious and worrisome fact that both land and sea borders of Nigeria have become very porous, thus allowing unlawful access of both goods and immigrants into the country. The House is aware that markets, shops, and stores are awash with smuggled goods, including clothing, materials, and food items, while the roads are filled with cars smuggled into the country without the anti-smuggling units and other formations of the Nigeria Customs Services being able to stem the tide. The House is concerned.
Chairman, Transparency, please take your seat.
The House is concerned that the Nigeria Customs Service,
Chairman, Transparency, take your seat.
after having failed in its duty to prevent goods from entering the country, has now resorted to
Chairman, Transparency Group,
and
take your
harassing
seat.
innocent citizens who have purchased vehicles and
Chairman, Transparency Group, take your seat.
off the shelves. Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, the House also concerned that one of
Chairman, Transparency, take your seat.
that one of the deleterious effects of the failure of the service to stem smuggling is that substandard and harmful goods like plastic rice, uncertified genetically modified food items, expired drugs, high radiation mobile phones, etc., have flooded the country and are posing a serious health threat to the nation's socio-economic existence. Also aware that foreigners who had gained entry into Nigeria without proper immigration papers or whose visas have expired are still in the country, competing with Nigerians and enjoying taxpayers' money. The House is worried that finished goods that have been smuggled into the country pose serious economic threats and unhealthy competition to goods which have been painstakingly produced by Nigerian companies. Also worried that both the Nigerian Customs Service and the Nigeria Immigration Service are operating below expected standards in their responsibilities of stemming smuggling and entry of illegal immigrants into the country. The House is determined to ensure that the nation's borders are strictly guarded and monitored to drastically reduce the spate of smuggling through the land and sea borders, and also to ensure an overtly controlled migration of foreigners into the country. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the House resolves to 1. Urge the federal government to urgently come up with more stringent policies to curb the menace of smuggling and illegal immigration into the country. And 2, mandate the committees on customs and excise and interior.
Honorable colleagues, please take your seat. Order.
To interface.
Honorable Chidoka.
With the controllers general of
Honorable
the Nigeria
Chijabi.
Customs and the Nigeria Immigration Service.
Honorable Chidoka, your constituting noise.
For the porous nature of Nigeria's border points that encourage unrestrained smuggling and illegal immigration, and the measures to stem the trend and report back within 5 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, I so move. Lagos. Mr. Speaker, if we are talking about change,
Honorable Jarigbe.
and that change should begin with me, I think it is
Kai, sit down.
This is the right time to ensure that all our parastatals, ministries, and agencies are, informed of their jobs and that they should do it as required by them. Mr. Speaker, we see no reason why people will buy things off the shelf, like cars and other things, and customs will now be chasing them all around in town to get those cars, because we've witnessed in so many cases that cars have been taken off from their rightful owners because they could not provide certain papers. Whereas the custom as a point of entry should have done justice to those goods coming into the country. They have not been doing that. The motion speaks for itself. And you see, the immigration as well, they've refused to do their job. If you look around, we have more foreigners than citizens of the country in Nigeria as we speak. We do not even know the population of Nigerians in Nigeria. Foreigners are enjoying taxpayers' money. Why indigenes, why Nigerians are not even enjoying what, they are supposed to be enjoying? Why? Because immigration, is not doing what is proper. By moving around, checking papers, people that even entered with legal papers, they overstayed their visas. When their visas have expired, you will still find them in the country. Meanwhile, if you go to other countries, they do not joke with that. They will not allow
Order.
after your visa has expired.
Honorable colleagues, order.
So it is important, Mr. Speaker, that we
Listen to him in silence.
It is very important, Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, that we reorientate the custom and our immigration to do what is required of them. That is the reason for this motion. Dear colleagues, please, I appeal that you support it. Thank you.
So I'll put the question. Those in favor of the motion as amended, say aye. Those against it, say nay. The ayes have it. Ninth order of the day.